We're on YouTube 93 or 94 right now. Now it can be told. A little discussion about my strategic choices in the type of lens and the type of self-presentation that I have chosen to use in making this series. This is deliberate. I have gotten feedback, and I am very, very glad to get your feedback. I always welcome it, and it is quite useful for me, and it can help me be more useful for you. So give me the most specific feedback you can. I'm taking it in. I hear you. I get what you're saying, and I understand your concerns. Those of you, and there are several, who have wondered, out loud to me, why do I choose to present myself in a very non-standard way, where most people prefer to use a flattering lighting and typically a more telephoto type lens, a slightly longer shot. Well, one is, it is flattering because it obscures or conceals a lot of information, a lot of facial expression information, vital information for your unconscious mind to learn. And on one level, on the conscious mind level, on the explicit level, I try to provide you with the best value and the best understanding I can possibly come up with in my process of life and discovery. What are the things that seem to be really universally meaningful or canonically meaningful? And I try explicitly to provide you with that. On another level, levels that I've learned from many years in acting training, say in on-camera training, or with a now deceased but a very, very significant teacher in my personal history, Dave Dobson, with his other than conscious communication. We recognize, and I think Milton Erickson in his hypnotic work also very, very deeply, instinctively recognized the importance of paracommunication, other than conscious communication, what Paul Ekman refers to as micro-expression or micro-communication. So what I did, I've chosen a lens here. This lens that you see from the tip of my nose to here, from about there to there, is about 6 inches, and it looks in subjective camera space, you're going into trance, about like 2 feet or something. I don't know how that reads to your mind, but that's about 6 inches away. Okay, that permits a number of things to happen. I can get very close to the microphone, and I can present a number of vocal modulations that might be drowned out either in room sound or echo. I get very close to the mic, I can get very close to the camera and give you a lot of highly magnified experience. So my goal here is to magnify, to act like a magnifying glass on your study of micro-expression and other than conscious communication. And in the work I've done in acting training, and I will say I never became an actor, I never qualified as a professional actor, I modeled the daylights out of the stuff, and I learned a tremendous amount, especially in my on-camera classes, especially with a few really masterful teachers I had in Manhattan, people who just taught me entire worlds that I was not aware of. Some of the most valuable stuff of my life. Damned hard work, frustrating, infuriating, embarrassing. One thing you're going to learn if you take acting classes, the first thing you're going to learn is you have to get over self-consciousness. That is the huge hump. And you just don't have any idea how wildly self-conscious you are until you're in front of a room of people bearing your deepest emotional secrets and trying to turn this into some kind of creative material. And then you find out just how naked you truly feel. So that training did make me very, very comfortable with the camera. It made me very comfortable looking ways and presenting myself in ways that other people would be afraid, might be afraid of looking ridiculous. Well, I'm telling you something, a huge lesson in life is to get over the fear of feeling ridiculous, because anytime you start pushing the boundary or pushing the bubble, you're going to go up against areas that people defend with ridicule. Ridicule is how people do a lot of defend their positions. They ridicule you, So I've had to become very comfortable with ridicule. It's no problem for me. It empowers me. It strengthens me. It doesn't weaken me. So I have chosen to create a means where I can communicate to you on the conscious level with explicit data, with conceptual information, and on the micro-expressive, other than conscious, I would say the kind of subtle level of communication, and the goal, the purpose. You say, what is your intent? What is the intent frame? Anybody that hangs around the Grinder crowd is going to always be giving intent challenge. What is your intent in doing that? What is your intent in doing that? My intent in doing this is to give you a lot of material, hours and hours of material where you can pick up conscious, explicit information, and in the meantime, you can get a second, equally deep, unconscious communication in micro-expression, in facial gesture, in congruity and incongruity, and I play with these things a lot. I'm certainly not at the level of some of the masters that I've seen, but I make my best effort to build in as many congruence, incongruence, types, tones, gesture, vocal tone, so you can get a full-on unconscious level learning with that too. So this has a goal, this has a purpose. I'm doing this with intent to maximize your learning at the unconscious level of other than conscious communication. So I hope that works for you, and if you have any thoughts or anything you'd like to share or add or etc., either leave me a note or whatever you need to do. I'm awake to what you're saying.